Fleshy, your assignment today is to stay one night in the Bode Hotel in room number 18. They say every brick in that place has a story, and after your stay, I'm sure you'll confirm those stories are less charming historical anecdotes and more screaming match at 2 a.m. with a very confused ghost. I'm sending you in looking for a good yarn, a proper haunting to document. Unless your bargain included phantom debates in the bathroom, a bed that moonlights as a trampoline for invisible entities, and the hotel staff who clearly need a raise for dealing with your noisy room. So Fleshy, grab a blanket, maybe a nightlight, and prepare for the true account of how the Boneyard Scribe sent you a little too close to the afterlife. And trust me, you'll want to hear about the bathroom incident. And now, room number 18. The Bode Hotel in Kamal Harbor. Any building can become haunted if the right events occur within its walls. What if I told you that the hotel room I'm staying in has seen its fair share of ugliness over the years? Out of all the haunted places that I could have picked to spend the night in, I chose this one so I could experience the haunting for myself, so I could write this piece. When it comes to the haunted locations, history is everything. The more history a place has, the greater chance it has of being haunted. This is especially true if that history is dark. The Bode Hotel in Kamal Harbor is one such place. Our city is located in New England. In its early days, skirmishes with local tribes are said to have left a mark on the area. Nearby battles during the Revolutionary War had left a mark on the area. Nearby battles during the Revolutionary War laid several men from both sides to rest. At the time, the hotel wasn't standing. But sometime during the Revolutionary War, an unnamed man built the building that would eventually be turned into a hotel. It served as a home for soldiers no longer able to fight, and also as a hospital during the war. The hotel, as it stands today, covers the location of both the soldiers' home and the cemetery. It's a known fact that during the Prohibition, the mob used the room to traffic booze and occasionally carry out, those punches that the mob is known to make. It's also known that a man ended his existence over his finances here, along with a few unalivings committed on women at the hands of a madman. All this has contributed to the unique hauntings within my room. I paid for a night in room 18 for 2 nights, but I wouldn't spend the second night in the hotel room. I needed this experience to give justice to the subject. I needed to be in a room to have the chance to encounter its ghost, so I could write my piece. This piece is my I am documenting my stay in room number 18 for my piece for the magazine that I work for. Right away, there was an uneasy feeling in the room. Things were pretty quiet. Until around midnight. At midnight, the lights in my room came on, and it woke me up. There was no explanation that made sense to me. I was the only one in my room, and I know I turned off the light before getting into bed. Around 2:15 a.m., voices started coming from the bathroom. The voices were loud, as if someone was having an argument, and they were followed by a loud, audible pop, which was then followed by silence. I checked the bathroom, and there was nobody in it, nor was there anyone in the hallway. And I would later find out that there was no one in room 19 either. Around 2 a.m., I was woken up by the bed shaking, and I could feel someone kneeling on the bed, violently shaking it, as if someone were being attacked. I jumped out of the bed and moved to the desk to work on that experience for my piece. I returned to the bed, but didn't sleep well after that. 15 minutes later, there were 3 more audible pops coming from the bedroom, followed by a loud thud as if someone fell to the floor. From then on, the room was quiet. When I got up, I turned on the lights and got ready for the day. Before I left my room for breakfast, I cleaned up the room and packed my suitcase. I didn't want to leave the room a mess in case housekeeping came in while I was out of the room. I managed to sneak down to eat. I had been downstairs eating for 10 minutes when I noticed a text had come in from the hotel. I was asked to come to the front desk. Apparently, there were loud noises coming from my room, and I needed to quiet down. I wasn't offended and just texted back to them that I was downstairs eating breakfast and they could meet me in the hotel restaurant to confirm that I was actually there. And they did. I think they were surprised to find out that I wasn't lying. Together, along with hotel security, we headed up to my room. The room was quiet. I opened the door and, to my surprise, discovered that my belongings were now scattered across the room. The hotel security staff that came up with me entered the bathroom as well as checked the closet to make sure there was nobody else in the room. I heard her scream, and when I got in there, whatever it was had vanished. When I asked what happened, she said that there was a man in the tub. He was fully dressed, and he looked like he'd been hurt by a fire stick. It ended up, after a little research, that I found out that the case was never solved. The man's wallet was never found, and it's assumed that he was a part of the mob, and that this had been a mob hit. After cleaning up, I was ready to finalize my article with these words. As someone who had debunked other hauntings, I found myself unable to debunk the paranormal experiences at the Bode Hotel. Nothing I experienced here could be wiped away with scientific knowledge. If I was a skeptic before entering this hotel room, I can honestly say that I would be a believer after my stay. To add to my article, I interviewed some staff members here at the hotel, and they all knew about the hauntings and goings-on in room 18. Also, for the record, there are other spots in the hotel that are haunted, but this room definitely is charged. In this reporter's humble opinion, it's evident that room 18 is truly haunted. And so, my fleshies, 2 nights at the Bode Hotel concluded with a profound sense of exhaustion, a renewed belief in the paranormal, and a strange aversion to bathtubs. From here, I'm sending you to face grizzlies in the wilderness, scale mountains, and even survive a particularly aggressive badger incident. But nothing, and I mean nothing, could prepare you for the sheer audacity of room 18's ghostly residents. It turns out documenting spirits is far more demanding than documenting wildlife. At least the animals typically respect personal boundaries, and they rarely scatter your clean underwear across the floor. And so, while you might be a little less nature and a lot more ghost whisperer for a while, rest assured, I'm now incredibly busy trying to figure out your next assignment. And rather, I need to send you with an exorcism kit. And if anyone finds a fully dressed, rather singed gentleman lurking near a hotel bathtub, please call Nature Guy X46. This has been the Boneyard Scribe, signing off from the land of the living. Well, mostly anyway. Pleasant nightmares, fleshies!